All right, good afternoon. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out another one of my videos. Today we have a little bit of a different background. I am in my guest bedroom because we're going to be doing a declutter. So I'm going to be using the bed to go through all my makeup, and I just felt like it'd be a lot easier doing it on the bed as opposed to a floor. More comfortable for this mama. But yeah, as I said, I want to go through my collection and kind of declutter. I don't know how much I'm going to be getting rid of. I'm not trying to do any kind of hard, like cut my collection in half declutter. I basically want to go through and just find the stuff that I'm not reaching for anymore and pass it along. So yeah, with all that said, let's just go ahead and dive right into primers and foundations today. All right, so these are my primers. I'm sorry if the angle's kind of weird. I will try to lift them up so you guys can see them better. But yeah, these are all the primers that I have. Not too many, so I'm not like crazy concerned with getting these out of my collection because I feel like I really do either use these or I'm still trying them and deciding my thoughts on them, but we'll just go through them really quick. I think the oldest one in my collection is this number 7 Beautifully Matte Primer. And this is awesome if you have oily skin. It reminds me of the Makeup Forever Step 1 Mattifying Primer. I also have that in my collection. It's in a travel size that I am trying to use up for a project pan I'm doing right now, so I didn't include it in here. But this, from what I remember, it's been a while since I've used this, but this is kind of like the drugstore equivalent to the Makeup Forever one. I like to have it especially in the summer. So keeping that. Let's see, this Cover FX one is a relatively new to my collection. This is the Custom Black Drops Oil Control. I still need to use it and decide my thoughts on it. I do think I like this. I don't think I noticed a huge difference with oil control, but I did like how it helped my foundation last. So I'll definitely keep it and use it up because I think I just bought it earlier this year. Next up is this Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer, primer and moisturizer in one. I do like this for the days when either I'm in a hurry and I don't want to worry about primer, or if I'm just kind of having an everyday makeup look. I don't really care if my oils break through. I just use this and it's works as my moisturizer and my primer. And I think it works fine. It gives me a nice smooth base, and I like that it moisturizes my skin too. This is the Bye Bye Pores Primer from IT Cosmetics. I really do like this. This is a very unique primer. It's got a pump, which I love, and as you can see, I've used a good bit of it. It kind of feels a little silicone-y, but not really silicone-y. It's really a unique formula, but I do like it. I think it does nice things for my skin, and I do want to keep it and finish using it. Okay, so this Physicians Formula Insta-Ready Face Primer is relatively new to my collection, and I have not used it too many times. I actually just put it on today because I couldn't remember if I liked it or not. It feels kind of silicone-y, but it looks like a gel formula when you pump it out. It gives a really nice smooth base, but I don't know, like I said, I haven't used it too many times, so I really don't know how it works with my oily skin, but I do want to keep it. Next up, Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. This is a pore minimizing one. I will be keeping this because this is great for the days when I want to fill in my pores. I have a lot of acne spots that are scars that are left behind and have little like craters in my skin, so this works well to fill it in on the days when I want to look very airbrushed. And then last up, number 7 Airbrush Away Primer. I just did a review, which I can link down below, but this one was just a nice primer. Nothing crazy, nothing that blew my socks off. It worked nice. So since I have these primers already that are, good just to kind of give me a nice smooth base, don't do anything for the oils, but just give me a nice smooth base and help my foundation last a little longer. I really don't need this in my collection, so I will be passing this along to a family member. So I've kept 6 and I am giving 1 away. Not too impressive a start. Foundations, I definitely have a lot of foundations. I am really big on foundations. I love trying new foundations and seeing what works for my oily skin, what gives me nice full coverage, and what lasts a long time. Those are kind of the main things I look for in a foundation. So I'm always up to trying a new one, and so yeah, I kind of have accrued a lot. This is the Naked Skin foundation. This is my 3rd or 4th bottle. I can't remember which purchase this is, but it is definitely a favorite. I have repurchased, as I said, many times, and I will always have in my collection, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, this is just a fantastic foundation, very lightweight, very nice on the skin, and I really love it. Okay, next up, you guys know I'm not getting rid of this because I just mentioned it in a favorites, I think July favorites. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup Foundation. I just recently purchased it and it is absolutely fantastic full coverage all day wear foundation and works well with my oily skin. But yeah, like it and not getting rid of it. Next up is this Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation. As you can see, I've given this a lot of love. I really do like it. It's not the longest wearing in that I do find at the end of the day it can it'll kind of separate and break up on my skin at the end of a long day, but it's very nice full coverage, and I find that it's really nice to mix with other foundations. So this one is a little light for me. So I tend to mix it into a foundation that either is, you know, a little too dark for me, and also I want more coverage. This is the foundation I reach for because it is very nice full coverage foundation. Okay, next up I'm going to talk about this foundation, Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation Stick. This is one I am keeping not because I love, but because I have not tried it yet. I purchased this, I think, in the last Sephora VIB sale. I can't remember. It's a relatively recent purchase, and I just have not tried it enough to decide if I like it or not. So I'm going to hang on to this until I have been able to give it a good testing. Also a product I'm keeping because I have not tried it enough to decide my thoughts on is the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops. It was right before I got pregnant, so I just kind of stuck it in my collection and haven't reached for it, but I want to give it a good try and decide what I think about this, so keeping. These two are two little minis. This is a Custom Cover FX Drops. I think this is almost done, so I just want to finish using it. And I think it's in a dark shade. I can't remember what I got, but so I mix it in with other foundations when I want to just get more coverage and to either lighten or darken. I can't remember which this was. But as I said, I'm almost done with this. And then this is the Super Balance Silk Makeup Broad Spectrum SPF 15 from Clinique. This is a little freebie sample I got in some order. I think it was from Sephora because Clinique actually sent me the bigger bottle, but it was way too dark, so I couldn't even try it to see if I liked it. So I snagged this as a freebie in more of my shades so that I could give it a go. And I can't remember what I think about this. I mean, I'm definitely going to keep it because it's a tiny little bottle. I think I liked it for everyday foundation. I don't think it gave a like crazy coverage. I don't think it was like amazing lasting powers, but it's nice for every day. So I'm definitely keeping this just because it's a small little bottle I can use up. But I will be getting rid of this because it's like way too dark. Even in the summer, I will never be this shade. So I'll probably pass this along to my mom because I'm pretty sure this is more of an accurate shade for her. Okay, we're getting down there. Next is the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation. I do like this. It's a little too dark if I remember right. Yeah, but I do like it, so I will be keeping it, and it's great for those days I want very full coverage. Okay, some products I know I can get rid of. This Pure Cosmetics Bare It All foundation. I did a review on my blog. It's just not a foundation I like. It's very thick. It's very, not even just a thick consistency, but it's very thick when you rub it in. It's very thick on your skin. It's a foundation you can feel while you're wearing it the entire day. I just never reach for it now that I've reviewed it, so I'm going to get rid of it, pass it along. Okay, next up is this IT Cosmetics Anti-Aging Armor. Oh my goodness, they're so long. The names of IT Cosmetics products are so long. Anti-Aging Armor Super Smart Skin Perfecting Beauty Fluid with SPF 50. In it, and it is, I think it's just a universal shade if I remember correctly. Anyway, this is a really nice little kind of BB cream, CC cream kind of thing. It doesn't give a whole lot of coverage, but it's nice, kind of the everyday no makeup look. But for me, I don't go for that. If I'm going to put on makeup, I usually go for at least medium, if not full coverage. So it's just not smart to keep in my collection, just let it go bad. So I am going to pass this on to a family member. So I just realized, I thought this was like a pump liquid kind of foundation, but it's a powder. So I'm going to set this aside for when I go through my powder foundations. Don't know why that was in there. Okay, we're going to talk about this, the Bare It All Bare Pro foundation. I just shared this in my August favorites and did a little review in there, the Makeup Monthly reviews. I do really enjoy this foundation, especially this is one I reach for, like just, you know, an everyday foundation. It's medium to full coverage. So like I said, this is the type of foundation if I just want to, you know, don't want anything too heavy on my skin, you know, nothing too extreme, nothing intense coverage wise that I need on my skin. This is a foundation that I definitely reach for and have been reaching for a lot, obviously in August and even now going into September. The brand did send me 2 shades, so I will be keeping 1 shade, and this one I will be passing along to a family member because I don't need both. All right, next up is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. I actually have a bunch of these. A blogger friend of mine had sent me. I was trying to find my correct shade, and she's a lot darker than me, so she sent me the brand had sent her a bunch, and then she passed them along to me to find my shades. So I just grabbed 2 to kind of represent these bottles. But this foundation I really do like. Another kind of foundation like the Bare Minerals one that I reach for just like every day. I will definitely be keeping it. I think these are the 2 shades that work best for me. What are these? 120 and 220. Well, no, 220 looks way too dark. I think it's 120 that's the foundation shade. Anyway, all that to say, I'm going to find the foundation that works for my skin. I think, you know, for my color, I think it's this one. And then the other ones I will be passing along to family and friends. So this one is from Color Science. It's their Tint du Soleil. They sent this to me to try out, but it's just too dark. I put it in my foundation drawer just to think like maybe in the summer I would get darker, but then I got pregnant and was super sick during the summer, so I just didn't go outside a whole lot, so I haven't gotten that much darker. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pass this along. I have a lot of foundations, as you can see, and just holding onto a foundation on the off chance that I will get darker so that I can try it out and review it. I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna pass it along to someone who can use it. Okay, next up is this Jouer Matte Moisture Tint. I really do like this. This is in the color Nude. If I remember correctly, it's really good in the winter, especially when I'm at my palest. It works, but it also works kind of in the same sense as this Tarte foundation to mix into darker foundations to lighten them for me. It's great coverage and gives you nice full coverage, gives you nice lasting power. I remember I did use this foundation to do my skin, my face, for a wedding one day where we had to drive like 3 or 4 hours. And so I did my foundation in the morning, we drove to the wedding, and then like the wedding was all day. And it looked great all day long, and I was really impressed with how long it held up. And we were outside, so I was sweating, but I had no problems with this staying on my face and looking really good all day. So this is definitely one that I enjoy and that I keep. Okay, let's talk about these two. So the brand sent me this one to try out. This is a Perfection foundation, and it's way too dark. I mean, I'm sure you can see. And then at Kohl's one a couple months ago, and they had a bunch, you know, on sale for like a couple bucks. I think it was like $4. So I decided to buy a really light foundation to try to mix the two and see if I could try, you know, Lorac foundation formula, and it works. It's nice, but I just feel like that's a huge hassle that I went through just to be able to try a Lorac foundation. I don't need this in my life, so I will be passing these two along. This one I liked when I initially bought it and reviewed it. It was nice, but it doesn't last on my oily skin. I have a lot of problems with halfway through the day, my oil's breaking out, like breaking through very badly, but I'm just gonna get rid of it because I kept it saying I can just use it for the days when I'm around the house and don't really care if my oil is breakthrough, but I never reach for it, so pass. All right, we're talking about the Rimmel Stay Matte Foundation. I do like this. I have been using it to mix because this is an ivory, so it's pretty light. I've been using it to mix with other shades, kind of like the Tarte foundation and the Jouer. So I'll be keeping it to continue doing that, and I like having an affordable, full coverage, long-lasting foundation to recommend. Last two. Okay, Wet n Wild Photo Finish foundation. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I bought it because, you know, it's so affordable, and when it came out, everyone was talking about it. It just doesn't do a whole lot when I use it. It barely evens out the skin, I feel like. I put it on, and it's kind of like, what happened? But at the same time, I kept it because it was a nice mixing foundation. But I don't know, it's just, I think I'm gonna keep it because it's really liquidy, so it doesn't really mess with the color or with the consistency of a foundation I mix it with. And the Custom Cover FX Drops is a little dark, so I think mixing these two together, I'm gonna keep it for now. This might end up getting decluttered at some point, but for now, I'm just gonna keep it. I saved this one for last because I haven't been able to decide while I'm decluttering. I can't decide. It has a pencil that's nice. This is from Glow Minerals. This is their Luxe Liquid Foundation. This is really nice. It's a nice color for me. It lasts well, gives decent coverage. I would say medium coverage, nothing full. But do I need it? I don't know. I am going to keep this because I want to bring it back into my rotation and see how much I liked it, because it's been a while since I did that review. I just don't hear a whole lot about Glow Minerals, so I want to see if maybe this is a hidden gem that you guys should know more about. So I am going to keep it. All right, so I'm keeping 12 foundations and these two minis, which I don't really count. 12 foundations, and I'm getting rid of 9. I feel like that's pretty good. That was almost half, which I honestly wasn't expecting to get rid of that many. So yeah, those were my primers and foundations. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not sure how good I did with my primers, but I feel a lot better about my foundations just because I had a lot, as you saw, and it's just not really necessary. I knew there were ones in my foundation collection that I just kept passing over again and again and again, and there's just no reason to keep it if I don't want it. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye.